You probably don't think too much about the refrigerant in your air conditioner till it stops working and you need to replace it. But there are big industry changes coming in 2025. Carlos Garcia is a comfort advisor with Aqua Plumbing and Air, and he is here to explain what this all means. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
All right, this is a pretty deep science lesson here, but I feel like it's really important because this is going to impact probably all of us with air conditioners here. Let's go back to basics. What is refrigerant in terms of our air conditioning unit?
Sure, that's a great question. So refrigerant is basically the liquid that is inside the AC system. Its job is to absorb the heat out of the air and basically transfer it to the outdoor unit to remove it. And that's basically, if you want to think about it like the human body, the refrigerant is like the blood.
Okay, makes sense. So it's coursing through our air conditioning unit, and I know that when people do checkups and things like that, it needs to be replaced, it needs to be added. What is changing in 2025 with that liquid?
Yeah, so there's a lot of big changes coming in 2025, and it has to do with the new equipment that's going to come out. That refrigerant, the EPA and the government essentially has come up with new standards for refrigerants that are going to be more thermal efficient and better for the environment. So the R410A refrigerant, which is what we currently use, will be phased out, and it's going to give way to new refrigerants like R454B and R32. And basically the science behind it is that the new refrigerant does basically less work. It does more with less.
And that's more efficient.
Yeah, it's more efficient. Thus, it's not going to run as long, and it's going to save electricity. And that's, we're all trying to make a better world. So
absolutely. So it's great news, hopefully, for our wallets, and it's certainly good to have things be more environmentally friendly. I feel like there's a but coming. But how will the new refrigerant work with all of our existing AC units? And
that's where the big question comes in. So refrigerant, it's like gas, right? So think about gasoline in a car engine, trying to put that in a diesel engine, it's not going to work. And so the new refrigerant will be basically for new equipment. There's no way that we could use that one with the old style equipment and have it work. So now we will still be able to service that remaining equipment. So that's just to put everyone at ease, right? You have an older AC, it has the old school R410A refrigerant. We will be able to service that currently. But if you're purchasing a new system, or if you have a unit that has gone kaput and you need to buy a new one, you're going to have to replace both the indoor and outdoor unit now with the new style refrigerant.
Okay, so that may impact people in terms of how much replacing they have to do here in the near future.
Yes.
Now, how does that work for a company like you? You've got new units, new refrigerant, plus everything of the old. I think there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve where you have to get everybody some education, right?
Exactly, yeah, and we've been preparing for this, obviously. We've known it's coming for about a year, and so we have to get new tools for the guys. The technicians need to have the proper equipment. We also need to get caught up on training, basically how we remove refrigerant, how we test it. There's going to be new sensors also in this equipment, and so that there's a little bit of a learning curve for everybody, but we're ahead of it though.
What about cost? Initially, do these new units cost more? I'm assuming because of technology?
And that's exactly right. So for a manufacturer to change the production line to make maybe new compressors, new sensors, retools, all of that, it costs more money to do that. And a lot of this equipment is probably going to be bigger in size, which means you're going to be able to stack less of them on a forklift, maybe take up more room in a tractor trailer. So all that cost gets passed down eventually to us, the consumer. So there will be a price increase starting in 2025.
All right, so maybe to help everybody sticker shock here, the new units will be pricier, but to your point, they run more efficiently. So will that then save us money, hopefully, in the long run? And
that's the idea. It'll help offset a little bit of that cost up front. It comes down to the priority for the homeowner, right? If the homeowner's on a tight budget, perhaps purchasing that equipment right now is going to be better for them, especially with all of the hurricanes that we've had. Our inventory is starting to diminish a little bit because the manufacturers have also stopped producing them. Right? But if you're an eco-minded consumer, and let's say you rather spend a little bit more to get more updated technology, then waiting perhaps is better for you.
Okay, so important stuff to know because new technology means all sorts of new things for all of us to understand. But we're going to see refrigerant changes coming in 2025, and that's going to mean new AC systems for many people as well. All right, for the very latest on what you need to know to keep your family cool and comfortable, you can go to aquaplumbing.com.